first one is service cost. Initial service cost for 2007 here is $27,000. So the first component is service cost. $27,000. That increases pension expense. This is not a journal entry that we make, by the way. Debit service cost $27,000 or something like that. Or debit pension expense of $27,000. This just simply shows in this worksheet that pension expense increases, hence debit, for $27,000, by $27,000 for the amount of service cost. Okay? That's what that debit means. It just increases pension expense. It's not a separate debit. All right. Now this increase, the service cost, $27,000. What else does it affect?
The obligation.
The obligation, right? It is the increase, by definition, it is the increase in the PBO that is attributable to this year's service that the employees gave the company. So it is the increase in the PBO that is attributable to this year's service of the employee. So this $27,000 increases the obligation of the pension plan. So in each row we're going to have debits equaling credits, so that's kind of nice. That's how our mind works, so that's useful. All right, then the second component is interest cost. The settlement rate here is given to be 7%. The settlement rate is the interest rate that the company uses to compute the present value of all the future benefits. Okay? So that's the interest rate that the actuaries also use in computing the present value of all these obligations. That then is the interest rate that we need to use to determine interest costs. Right? Just like with bonds, the interest rate that we use to compute the present value of the bonds, the market rate or the yield, is the interest rate that we use to compute interest expense. Same thing here. So we take 7% of what? Of the PBO of 450, right? This is your obligation at the end of the year. You have to pay, or you have to accrue interest on that. So you take 7% of the beginning balance in the PBO. 7% of $450,000 is 31.5, right? So interest cost increases pension expense by 31,500. Increases pension expense, and of course also increases the liability. Yeah? So second component, interest cost, debit expense, credit liability. That's right. Third component is the actual return on plan assets. Actual return on plan assets, and that is $30,000. $30,000. And this decreases pension expense. This actual return decreases the pension expense. It's kind of the offset to the interest cost. And of course, the actual return affects what else? The plan assets, of course, right? The return on the plan assets is defined as the increase in the pension plan assets, other than any contributions that were made to the pension plan assets. Right? The return is just simply, hey, how much did my pension plan assets go up? Ignoring the contributions that I made to the plan. Yeah? All right, a couple other things that are mentioned here. First of all, the contributions that are made to the plan. So now we're talking about this here, right? The contributions that are made to the plan. So this is something that the employer has to account for. Because this is a transaction between the employer and the pension fund. And those contributions are $32,000. Contributions. $32,000 where they affect cash, of course. Yeah, that's that credit to cash that we're going to have to report. $32,000 credit to cash. And the debit to the plan assets, of course. This is the contribution into the pension plan, so those contributions are just added to the pension plan assets. And then finally, the benefits that are paid out by the pension fund, right? The benefits are paid out by the pension fund. This is not something that the employer gets involved with at all. So indeed, it doesn't show up anywhere here on this side. It all happens right there, right? Benefits that are paid out, $17,000. Of course, they come out of the pension plan assets. All right. I really like blue, but I'm out of blue. So this comes out of the pension plan assets. It's white. What color is the dress? Did you guys see this?
It's everywhere. I don't get it.
Does everybody know? I'll pull it up on the screen in a little bit.
They say that if you see white and gold, that your pupil doesn't dilate fast enough with the light, so your eyes are as sharp as that.
So who's deficient? The white and gold people? Or
There's
the
no
blue and
deficient,
black?
it all depends on the angle and what, how your eyes are adjusted. That's,
White and gold, yeah.
Because
I would
my
like to
wife
be able to
says-
say that my wife's eyes are deficient.
my
So
wife
can
said
we-
to me first thing in the morning, she said, what do you see? I said, black and blue. And she said, ah. And then, but later on at work, because it was everywhere, it came up and I saw white and gold.
You did.
I did. So then they showed the link to the actual dress on Amazon. So I have one tab where I just saw white and
I
gold.
saw that too.
I looked at the Amazon thing, and I'm like, okay, it's clearly black and blue. I went back to the other thing, and looking at that, the proper picture, again, so it's a bad picture taken in a bad angle with glare on the side.
Sure.
of it. Once I flopped over where I just seen white and gold, it was black and blue. And that was the same office, same lighting, same everything. So it's just a trick on the eyes, rods and cones, and it's nothing to do with any.
I found it fascinating. My son came to us with it last night at like 10:30. Dude, it's your bedtime. No, I got to show you a picture. Has everybody seen it? The black and blue dress? I mean, I'm sure it went around on Facebook like crazy.
Everywhere.
Yeah.
That's the only place it went around.
It's the only place that is still
Relevant.
reality, I suppose. I'm not active on Facebook. I do have a Facebook account. My wife is very active on it. She's got 500 friends. 600. I don't know how many.
Pictures of you on her account that you have on your account.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. No, I think I fulminated against Facebook already earlier in the term. 600 strangers are looking at photos of me. But this blue dress thing, I found it fascinating. Because my wife was adamant, there's something wrong with your eyes that you see black and blue. So, all right. So the $17,000 of benefits that are paid out are, of course, paid out of the pension plan assets.
Could we see the rest of the page?
What's that?
Is there another entry that we're missing there? Could we see the rest of the page?
We're not done yet, Mario. There we go. Make it smaller still.
There we go.
Is that legible though?
There we go.
That is beautiful.
I can see that. I can see that you did it.
So the benefits that are paid out of the pension plan assets, where?
You're using black and blue ink.
There you go.
I have a blue gel pen when you said.
I think he definitely does.
Do I?
Yeah, he does.
Blue is nicer.
Definitely shirt on.
Yeah. Oh, I am a lefty.
He's a left.
Oh.
I won't even go there.
I'm a lefty. I had the same thing.
Is that right? Thank you, Greg.
Do you need a pen now?
All right, so the benefits, the other 17,000, where does it show up?
Comes out of.
It comes out of the PBO, right? If you're paying $17,000 to your employees, pardon me, you're reducing your future obligation. You're meeting your obligation, right? By making the benefit payments, you're meeting your obligation. And so, of course, the PBO goes down. The PBO goes down and the pension plan assets go down as well. Is that blue or is that black? It looks bluish on the page.
Oh, God.
It looks black. But it's a nice and very legible ink signature. We've gotten too excited about it. All right, so at this point, we can add up our lines here, if you will. 27 plus 31.5 minus 30 makes pension expense 28,500. Got it? We're going to contribute to the plan this $32,000. That's the credit. And that will be the journal entry that the employer records for 2007. Okay? That just doesn't